If your New Year's resolution is to save money, you're not alone. So many people choose budgeting and saving as their top resolution. But before you can make progress on new goals, you need to know where you are. A very good morning to you, Ayanda. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you, Simpiwe. Thank you for having me.
You know, we've asked our viewers what their New Year's resolutions are, and I suppose so many of them will be saying saving money or making more money. Since it's a new year, people are looking for the best ways, to save money. So how would you advise them?
Look, New Year's resolutions have been the thing that we plan for ourselves for the year ahead. We've been doing this for quite some time. It's a good thing to actually do, but provided you have the willpower to commit to the things that you have set out for yourself. Look, when you talk about financial resolutions, they need to be simple so that the success it becomes possible. So the moment you make it simple, you are then able to then focus on ensuring that you achieve all the better things that you wanted to achieve for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And how do I save money in my daily spending?
Look, the most important thing that we need to normalize is the budgeting. The moment we normalize budgeting, it makes it easy for one to actually identify the things that they spend on. When I talk about budgeting, we need to adopt a 50-30-20 principle in terms of your budget. This is recommended. You can always chip and change. What it means basically is 50% of your income will go towards your essentials, 30% of your income will go towards your non-essentials, and then 20% will go towards your saving and investment. This will give you a proper plan or a proper path in having to ensure that you are able to budget, and thus also you are able to focus on the most important things in your life. And most importantly, you need to be also able to identify your daily spending, things that you spend your money on. Sometimes we spend a lot of money daily without noticing that we are. Like, for instance, if you spend 30 rands a day, that can amount to 6,600, at the end of the year. So the moment we identify such things, we'll be able to rechannel or repurpose that amount of money towards the better things that we want to achieve for ourselves.
And how do I reduce my expenses? I mean, you just made an example of spending 30 Rand a day. And if you just, at the end of the day, you just look at what you spend it on, some of those things are just not impressive.
Look, we need to really interrogate our values. We need to look at our spending habits. There's things that we spend on that we shouldn't be spending on. Like, for instance, we just came from a festive season. You shouldn't be actually spending or rather financing a party using a credit facility or whatever entertainment using a credit facility. There's quite a lot of things that we actually spend our money on that we shouldn't be actually doing. So you need to sit down with yourself, interrogate yourself, really look to be clear as to what it is that you spend your money on and try and improve that. We need to adopt good financial habits in order for us to succeed this year. And most importantly, we need to look at the way we accumulate debt. We need to be in a position of having to charge down debt as quickly as possible, identify which debt that charges that costs you the most in interest. And there's quite a lot that we need to do, but most importantly, you need to be focused. You need to ensure that you really look at what you value the most in terms of your finances. Because some people actually, if you value education, you'll be more likely to actually focus on having to achieve that as one of the things that you set out for yourself. But if you value social life, you'll be more prone to actually spend your money towards entertainment or hosting people. And that's where we sometimes get to actually lose it in some of the things that we do. So that proper introspection is needed for you to set out to achieve all the better things that you set to achieve for yourself. Yeah.
True. So is it advisable then to take up credit to make more money, to start a small business or to invest?
Look, in terms of taking up credit, look, credit is not entirely bad. It depends on how you use credit. Because there's people who actually take up credit to transform their lives. They start businesses, they educate themselves. So it all depends on how you use it. But most importantly, The one thing that you need to be able to understand is that you need to not use credit for the smaller things. Try avoid clothing accounts if you don't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
Because you find sometimes it indulges our overspending. So reckless spending rather. So we need to try and avoid such things. Make sure that when you use credit, you use it for the big assets, like for instance, investing in property. Even then too, you need proper advice so that you understand what it is that you're getting yourself into.
Right.
So, yes.
You know, most people would argue that they can't save from the little income they get. So what does one do in that instance?
Look, you need to look at your whole financial situation, look at a whole, when you look at your finances, you are then able to then see what are the things that you can do. In most cases, you find one is so overly indebted that they feel saving is not something that they could possibly do at the time. But saving as little as 10% so that you get to inculcate the culture of saving. You need to start with as little as much as you can so that you understand the principle of saving and you adopt the principle of saving, and then you grow over time. And identifying your irregular spending, cutting down on those, and improving on your savings. So the most important thing is to start somewhere. The moment you don't start, then you won't find yourself having to understand the importance of saving. And also seeking financial advice. Look, we need to seek financial advice. Financial advisors are out there to assist you in better managing your finances and then help you with your financial planning. If it's an issue of being overwhelmed by debt, you need to actually seek a debt counselor who will put together a repayment plan for yourself so that when you put those things in place, you'll then be able to direct some amount of monies when you've charged down certain debts towards your savings. So the most important thing is you need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Because the moment you don't start, really, we're not going to actually get anywhere.
Sure. You know, Ayanda, one of the best ways to save money is to set a goal for yourself. You know, start by thinking about what you want to save for. And ideally, what is the ideal length of a savings goal?
Look, there are things that you save for in a period of a year.
Yeah.
There are things that you save for in a period of 5 years, and there are things for long term, of which is 10 years and more. So, like I said, you need to have a financial advisor who will sit you down and do a needs analysis for you, and then put together a plan for you to achieving the things that you set out to achieve. Look, when it comes to goal setting, you need to set your goals and put it into action. You need to have an action plan towards everything that you want to achieve. So a financial advisor does come in handy in having to ensure that those goals are actually action. All
right, Ayanda, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for sharing your tips with us.
Pleasure.
Thank you. That was Ayanda Mkhize, the Senior Financial Facilitator at Old Mutual, sharing tips for everyone wishing to save more and spend less this new year and working towards their financial goals.